Hello, welcome to Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft. This is Richard, and right now I'm just taking some of this scrap wood that I had from playing around with building that bow, and I'm breaking it. I'm going to store it right here, and I'll show you what we're going to use that for here in a minute. Alright, there we go. I don't think I'm going to need that much, but it's always good to have some for later. Anyway, let's continue on and I'll show you what we're going to use that wood for. I have a little table out here. I don't know what day it is. I think it's Monday. Somewhere around mid-October or something around there. Anyway, it's starting to get chilly. And it's been rainy all day. I actually did pull my jacket out and I did wear it for a little bit today. So today is actually the official day that I actually pulled it out and actually put it on. Hopefully I'll do a video. I love that jacket. Anyway, I'll show you what I've got here. I have a small Dollar Tree bowl that is either a dog dish or a cat bowl or something like that, but I use these for all sorts of things. I have my pliers, I have some stick matches, I have an empty cup or empty tin. I do have my hobo stove, and there is some charcoal in there right now. Let's see here. I got it sitting on a piece of wood that's on one of the TV trays. Now here is some pine sap, some hard pine sap, dry hard pine sap. Now this is the sap that I used when I made my last batch of glue, and it turned out really brittle and didn't work so well. So there's the pine sap right there. Now that pine sap didn't really turn out great. This particular pine sap I gathered in Bailey, Colorado at 9,600 feet. But I'm not using this pine sap today for this project. But I did want to show that to you. Here's the pine sap, the hard dry pine sap. And this is the fresh pine sap that I have been pulling off of other trees, not necessarily pine trees or anything. And it's very sticky and, oh, if I can get it, there we go. And it's all sorts of colors right now. But I get it off the trees and it's, there we go. It's all sorts of different colors. There's a small piece right here that's dark, and then this little light goldeny color. And so anyway, this is all very more Play-Doh-y type, maybe, I guess you could say. Anyway, I have this amount here in this bag. Then I have about 3/4 of a cup of it here. And this baggie came from the video that you just recently saw about me gathering it. I already had some of this in my stash. So this is the sap that I am going to be using today for this project. And as I said before, this come off of just any tree I could find that was giving out sap, and I gathered all this in September. I don't remember when I gathered all this. And then I have a small baggie of deer droppings that I also got from Bailey, Colorado, up on top of the mountain. And I'm going to use a small portion of this, probably about a fourth of a cup. So probably about that much right there. Also, we are going to be using something else, and I got to go grab it because I didn't bring it out here. So hold on one second. So I also have this can. It used to have beef stew in it, and it has the charcoal ash, or the charcoal dust, that I made recently, and I'm going to be using some of that. So charcoal powder, deer droppings, tree sap. That's right, we're going to be making some tree sap pitch or glue. So let's get going with that. Alright, so I've got some of that wood that I chopped up a little bit ago, and I'm going to just set that down here. I've already got some charcoal and some not quite charcoal pieces of wood in my stove here, and I'm going to light that up, and I will be placing this cup on top, and then I will be putting this sap inside the container. There we go. This sap will go inside this container, and once I don't want this to boil or get bubbly. I just need it to melt, and once I get it to melt, I will separate any of the nasty stuff that's still with it, and I will place the good sap inside this container here. And I think this is going to be my sap container. It's just going to stay in here for now. So let's just get that started, and once I get all that done, I'll take about a fourth of a cup of these deer droppings. I will mush them up into powder, and along with some of this charcoal dust, I will mix it up and place it into the container, and we'll mix all that together, and we will create ourselves some tree sap pitch or tree sap glue. Now I'm gonna have to find a stick somewhere that I can roll it onto and let it harden, so we'll have to do that at some point, but let's get this going. Right, so I was digging around my stuff in there, and I found this. This is a stick that I had found a while ago that I kept because I'm going to use it for a trigger on a trap, and I don't need it to be that long. I can cut it off about, well, I'm going to cut it off about right here, and when we cut it off, I can shave this all off and make it nice. I don't know, take it off about here to here and have that much right there, and I can use this stick to roll into my pitch so that I can use it to store it. So I will do that off camera. I'm just going to break it, cut it down, shave it off, shave all the bark and everything off of it, make it just a nice little stick, and that's what I'll use. So alright, so here's the stick that I've got from that. Here's a little piece of it that I cut off. I'm just going to go ahead and use it for the fire. Get my nice little browning little stick out here, and I'm just going to shave off So let's take all of this stuff and let's rearrange it a little bit and get most of this out of the way, and make it just a little more usable. Alright, so let's take this this box here, a postal priority box that I have. Let's go ahead and, this is a box that I plan on making a oven out of soon. Just make a little stool here, just make one side of it and just set it down here so I can set my stuff on it. Get everything away from where I need it. Yeah, there we go. Woohoo! While that's working, start opening up this tree sap. And I got this tree sap from many different trees. Just whatever trees I could find that would have sap available to me. And as you can see, some of it's dark and some of it's light and some of it's golden brown and nice and amber colored, and it kind of feels like a rubber ball. Like something you'd make a rubber ball out of. So we're gonna stick that in there, and I'm gonna use it all. I'm gonna melt this all down, and again, I don't want it to boil. All I want it to, that's a nice, look at that. That's a wonderful amount. There we go. So this is much different than the hard pine tree sap. This is malleable and very nice. So anyway, we're gonna have to probably wait, and I'm gonna let some of this, there we go. That should work really well. Well, it looks like that sap, this kind of tree sap right here, is not melting very well. So this sap right here doesn't seem to be doing well when it comes to trying to melt it. It doesn't seem to want to melt. It just seems like it's kind of burning and hardening up a little bit. It doesn't look like it's not melting at all. So I'm thinking this isn't gonna work, and I'm kind of sad. So this is what that tree sap looked like. This is what it looks like when you pull it off of the tree. See, it's very nice and pliable and sticky feeling and things of that nature, but this is what it looks like when you try to melt it. It just gets hard and crusty and kind of burns, but it doesn't melt. So it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to make glue out of that. I'm not going to be able to make the pine pitch that I was hoping to be able to make. So we're going to have to figure something else out. Yeah, that's just got a weird smell to it, but that's just how it is. Apparently it's not going to work, so I guess this experiment is a no-go.